Is it just me, or does it seem like this summer's cosmic weather has been absolutely buck wild? I feel like I've had so many epiphanies, shifts, and changes in my life, lessons I've had to overcome and implement into my routine. And the summer's not even over yet. So I've been gone for 7 weeks on a little hiatus as I traveled through Europe to visit my family. And I thought for my first video as I come back, I wanted to do a little freestyling and talk about the current astro weather. What is going on up there in the cosmos, and why are we all feeling like we want to overhaul our whole life, throw everything away, and start over? We are in heavy, heavy retrograde season right now. By the time we get to the end of August, we will have 7 planets retrograde. And as we move into September, we're going to add Jupiter to the mix. So there's a lot of redirecting, reanalyzing, reassessing, recommitting, right, with retrogrades. And we got to talk about it. So this video is going to look a lot different than my normal content. I hope you enjoy it. I would love to know, how has your summer been? Like, has there been any major changes, major decisions, major epiphanies, major ahas? What in your life has changed since June? Because it's not over yet. So let me know in the comments below. For me personally, we went to Europe and I had like a health crisis, a health crash. The North Node, as it moved into Aries on July 22nd, is officially kicking off my nodal return. So for any of you, if you have your birth chart handy, I'll talk a little bit about different points in the chart. And if you have these alignments, you're going to be experiencing more energy in these areas of your life. So for me personally, I'm a North Node Aries. If you were born around 1986, like I was, you probably also have a North Node in Aries. And essentially, we're going through our nodal return, which means that destiny is lining up for us. We are getting into a season where everything in our life is leading us onto the path that our soul signed up for. This is a coming home moment. This is your soul waking up and being like, hey, it's time to get back on track. This happens every 18 years. And the most insane thing about that is my North Node is in the 6th house in my birth chart, which is in the house of health and wellness, which means that it was like an awakening for me to get into my selfish healing era. It is time for me to do all the health things, all the physical things for my body that I've been procrastinating on, that I've been delaying, and it's time to get back into the healthiest version of myself and cut out anything that doesn't serve. So, how has that transit affected you? So what I want you to do is I want you to look at your birth chart and I want you to find where Aries is in your chart. That is where the North Node is. That is the energy that changed in the middle of July that is going to have you focusing on that specific area of your life for the next 18 months. And we're about to go into eclipse season as we move into the fall. And we know eclipses bring sudden, jolting changes into our life that are in alignment for our destiny. And we don't have as much say or free will in those changes that are coming. So we need to know where those are going to be happening. So where is Aries in your chart? There is going to be a house or a number that is going to be in the area of your chart where Aries is. Aries is the ram. The symbol I'll put right here, it looks like, like a V, like a ram horn. And if you need help finding it, send me a message. I will help guide you into that. So that was a major aha for me. The other major thing that we're still experiencing is Venus's retrograde. So how have your relationships been? Venus has been retrograding in Leo. So I want you to kind of reflect on this summer, and this is not over until September 4th. So we're going through it for another couple weeks. Leo was about finding playfulness, joy, what makes you happy, what brings pleasure into your life. Like, where are you not paying attention to those things? Where are you sacrificing your own joy and happiness? And I feel like for so many of us this summer, we've been getting these epiphanies of like, I just want to play. And then the Barbie movie came out, right? So I'm dressed in my Barbie outfit today. What an alignment of the cosmos, because Barbie makes us feel like our inner child, right? It's about pink and creativity and femininity. Venus, right? Venus retrograde in Leo, being bold, being dramatic, being extra. Leo kind of rules fashion and being like creative. So what did you feel? How are you feeling when it comes to your creativity or your playfulness or finding your joy or what makes you happy? Have you had any ahas around that? How about your relationships? Anytime we go through a Venus retrograde, we are redoing, reanalyzing, right? Going back over the relationships in our life and which ones serve us and which ones are not bringing us joy and positivity and happiness. So for me personally, I really had to kind of assess when I come back, who in my life do I feel like lights me up, that makes me want to be playful, that makes me feel alive? And those are the people I want to spend my time with, right? And in my intimate relationship with my partner, we've been really kind of deciding how to be more playful. What are activities and hobbies and things that we want to do together that make us feel alive and that bring joy and jovial childhood playfulness back into our relationships. So let me know how this Venus retrograde has been treating you. Like I said, it's not over until we get to September 4th. Now, we have a lot of planets retrograde, right? So we have Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde, we've got Chiron retrograde, we've got Venus retrograde. Mercury is now kicking off retrograde energy on August 23rd. This is a big, big deal because on August 23rd, not only is Mercury going to go retrograde, and we know what we need to do during a Mercury retrograde, or rather we know what not to do during a Mercury retrograde, right? We are not going to start new projects. We're not going to gossip. We're not going to send text messages without rereading them. We're not going to sign contracts or buy big things. But instead, we're going to do some analyzation. We're going to do some perfectionism. We're going to declutter because it's happening in Virgo. And the day that Mercury starts going retrograde in Virgo, the sun also moves into Virgo. So we're about to go into Virgo sun season. So if you're a Virgo sun, happy birthday, happy solar return. You are a fellow Virgo soul sister. My birthday is at the end of the month. And so I just love Virgo season. Now for all of us, for every single person, when the sun moves into Virgo, the sun is going to highlight, right? The sun shines upon, it radiates on us, whatever cosmic energy, whatever constellation it is currently entering. So for the next month, we're all going to be shined on from the sun, Virgo energy. Well, what is this energy? And it happens every year, and I just love it because when I talk to people, everyone's feeling this energy. Virgo wants to organize. It wants to make sense of things. It wants to perfect things. It wants to make things better. And it has this helper energy. It has this like be of service. It's got this physical, it's an earth energy. So it has like this physical changing my reality in my day-to-day life kind of energy. And that includes our physical body. So there's a lot of focus around this sun season when the sun enters Virgo for the next month for us to want to like look at our routines, look at our supplements, look at our diet, look at our nutrition, look at our workout plans and be like, damn, the summer is coming to an end. I'm not physically in the space that I want to be. So I need to make some changes. I need to make some adjustments. I need to get things in order. I need to create a routine. And so it's always interesting that Virgo season happens at the end of the summer after we've kind of let loose in Leo season. We've just, enjoyed all the indulgences of the summer as we should when the sun was back in Leo for the last month. But now it's time to get serious, right? Because Virgo's like, all right, we got to get to work. We got to do the things that's going to change our physical reality. So if you're feeling called for the next month to declutter, to reorganize, to assess the things in your life that don't add wellness or health into your existence. Now that's physical, that's mental, that's spiritual, that's energetic, that is relationships, like money, whatever. If it doesn't make it more healthy or well, then it's time to cut it out. And this is going to be a very different Virgo sun season than the past years because this year during Virgo sun season, Mercury is going to be retrograde in this area of the sky. And that's important because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. Mercury loves to be in Virgo. It's like his home sign. So imagine you have like 5 vacation homes, right? And so you travel around the sky, the world, to all your vacation homes, right? So Mercury goes to Leo, Mercury goes to Aquarius, Mercury goes to Scorpio. He travels all around the sky. You travel around your vacation homes. But once a year, you go back to your home base, right? Where you have all your clothes and all the things that are like your roots. That is what happens when Mercury goes back into Virgo. He's comfortable, he's at home here. It's like a natural flow of energy. But this year he's going retrograde at home, which means if you go back to your home base, you're like, all right, I want to overhaul my home base. I want to clean out my closets. I want to declutter the cabinets. I want to throw everything away that doesn't serve me, because this time when I come home, I want to do a full edit. And so for the next 3 weeks, as Mercury is going to be retrograde from August 23rd until September 15th, we are going to declutter, purge, try to perfect things, gather more information, just really look at our physical body. What do we have to go back over? What do we have to reassess? What do we have to re-perfect? Maybe we thought we did it right? Maybe you created a piece of content. Maybe you wrote a contract. Maybe you had a conversation and you thought that it was like the best that it could be. But now we're realizing that it could be better. It could be way better. And so this Mercury retrograde is going to help us like make things even better than we thought that they could be. But let's talk about it. I'm going to pull up this chart here. But there is 2 planets across the sky from the Sun in Virgo and Mercury retrograding in Virgo that are bringing a whole extra dynamic to this. And Virgo, as we can see from the chart, is opposite Pisces. And in Pisces, who do we have? Oh, we got dear old dad Saturn, and we got Neptune, the dreamer. And so now that we have the Sun highlighting, we got Mercury, our mind, going backwards, thinking and decluttering and reassessing. We got Neptune across the sky, and Neptune is foggy, hazy, dreamy. Like we just can't seem to figure it out, right? Like our brain is like, I want to declutter. I want to do this over. I want to make this in my life better. I want to improve. I want to just analyzing everything. But Neptune's like, it's foggy, it's hazy. I can't seem to figure it out. Like I'm trying so hard. But Saturn is retrograde and Neptune's retrograde. So the energy is like, well, it's time to take responsibility. It's time to do the work. It's time to manifest your thoughts, your information, all that's up here into your physical reality. Because Saturn brings things into reality. It's a physical sign. Virgo is an earth energy, so it's about our tangible physical vessel, our day-to-day life. And Neptune's retrograde, so he's not as foggy or hazy as he normally is. It's kind of like take the rose-colored glasses, let's see it for what it is. So this is a great opportunity for you to do the damn thing. Do the damn thing. I'm telling you, till September 15th, like don't think about new projects. Don't try to run forward. Don't try to do things that are outside of what already exists. Go back over. Go back over. And I have a whole separate video I'm going to record after this for the Mercury retrograde and how to navigate it and do's and don'ts. And of course, if you have your retrograde journal, you can pop in. I want to say it's page 64 and 65. Little fun fact. Again, I just always say this reminder because most people forget. In your retrograde astrology journal, when you have a retrograde page and you see the journal prompts for a retrograde season, you need to fill out those retrograde journal prompts 3 times. Once when the retrograde begins, halfway somewhere, like halfway through that retrograde, and once when the retrograde is over. So you can, use the back pages, you can find a separate notebook, but you're going to see the thoughts and the things that you desire, the answers to your journal prompts are going to be so different from the end of the retrograde season to the beginning. So I really encourage you to make sure that you're like going back and filling out those journal prompts again. It's going to really help you reflect where your mind was and how much you grew since then, especially for a Mercury retrograde because it deals with our mind. But like I said, we're in heavy retrograde energy right now. Pluto's been retrograde since May, so it's time to fill out those journal prompts again. Saturn has been retrograde since June. And don't forget, Saturn's retrogrades are so important because he's Lord Karma. When he comes out of retrograde in November, let's just pray you did the responsible thing. You do the things that you need to do. And if you don't know what you need to do, go back to my video on Saturn and Pisces and his retrograde because Saturn's going to be in Pisces for 3 years. Like we're going to really have to learn these Pisces lessons. And remember, Pisces is opposite Virgo. So we're dealing with the Virgo sun highlighting across the sky right now. Saturn's lessons. And sorry, I'm like just free flowing today. So a lot of this is being channeled and I'm just flowing with like my guidance right now. If you don't know, as an astrologer, when I do birth chart readings or when I do cosmic energy readings, I know the facts, the data, the dates, the degree points, like that's all, you know, factual stuff, but I really start channeling the information that I feel that you need to know. So if I'm kind of all over the place, like just bear with me. Like I said, this is not my normal content. And also let me know if you kind of like this content without like the structured, you know, normal routine, like where I have an outline and I go through all the facts. So sorry, just let me know if you like this content. Okay, so back to Saturn. Saturn's been retrograde since June. We had Neptune start his retrograde back in June, so it's been almost a solid 2 months. We've had Chiron go retrograde. We have Venus going retrograde. Mercury, like I said, starting his retrograde August 23rd. And 5 days later, on August 28th, as we move to the end of the month, Uranus is going to start his retrograde. And what do we know about Uranus? Sudden jolting change, lightning bolt change, right? When Uranus is involved, it's like, boom, blow it up, destroy it, unexpected, surprise. It's time to go. It's time to move. It's time to change. You don't do it on your own, so I'm going to do it for you, right? Uranus's motto, choose change before change chooses you. So once Uranus goes retrograde, he's going to go back over the unexpected changes. He might add in some more unexpected changes into our life. And he's in Taurus, where Jupiter will also be going retrograde in Taurus in September. So by the time we get to September, we will have Uranus and Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, while we have Saturn and Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So 2 planets retrograde in Pisces, 2 planets retrograde in Taurus. That is very unusual to have that powerhouse of energy in one zodiac sign, let alone 2. Okay, so big deal there. So be careful of Uranus's retrograde. That's going to start on the 28th. Not only that, but 2 days later, so very close to Uranus's retrograde beginning, we have a full moon in Pisces. Now we're back to Pisces, right? Pisces, where Saturn and Neptune are retrograding. We're going to have a full moon there. And this full moon, when you look up in the sky on August 30th and you see that full moon bright AF in the sky, I want you to realize that moon is at 7 degrees of Pisces. And Saturn retrograde is at 3 degrees of Pisces. So very close to that full moon. You probably won't be able to see Saturn because the moon's going to be so bright and so full. That's where Saturn is in the sky. So as the sun is lighting up the moon, it's also lighting up Saturn. So this is a full moon. Pisces is dreamy, it's artistic, it's in the flow, it's spiritual, it's movement, it's water, it's empathy and compassion and love and, you know, just that like metaphysical energetic space. But Saturn's over here like, all right, if you're going to highlight your emotions, right? The moon is our emotions, our feelings, our subconscious. You're going to have to like take responsibility for your feelings. It's time to take responsibility for the way that you feel. It's time to make new decisions. Virgo, right? Sun in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, retrograde, making decisions, changing our life, decluttering. Saturn's like, it's time to take responsibility. If you feel crappy about your life, you got to do the Virgo thing and perfect it, make it better, analyze it, declutter it, change it, edit it, right? Virgo wants to make things better. So this is going to be a big full moon. I'm going to make a separate video on it, but I just want to let you know at the end of the month, we are going to be called to take accountability for the way that we feel. There's no more blaming other people. There is no more saying, woe is me, playing the victim, right? Pisces energy is so much about being the victim and everything happens to me. And Saturn's like, no, we ain't doing that this time. We're not doing that this time. We want a new reality. We want a new life. We want bigger and better things, and we want to manifest them. We want to see them in Virgo, our physical, tangible space. We got to take accountability. So that full moon is about us releasing the ways in which we've been not taking accountability for the things in our life that make us feel bad. So that might have to be something forced upon us because remember, Uranus just went retrograde 2 days before. So he's like very electric as he's turning around in the sky. So there might be some sudden ahas. There might be some things that's like, damn, all right. I've been blaming that on the other person for so long, but it's me, right? It's me. Hi, it's me. I'm the bad guy. So pay attention to that. Remember, Venus is still retrograde. So you might, in your relationships, been arguing. You might be blaming on the other person. You might be going through some struggles in relationships. Don't be surprised if around the end of the month, early September, you're like, it's me. Oh my God, it's been me the whole time and I need to change it. So pay attention to that. It's going to be a really, really big deal. Then we move into September. Oh, hold on. One thing. Before we move into September, let me just do a real quick recap of the end of August. On the 23rd, we move into the sun season of Virgo. Happy Virgo season. Happy birthday to all my Virgos. Mercury goes retrograde on that day. On the 27th, this is what I forgot to mention. On the 27th, Mars moves into Libra. This is a big deal because Mars is the cosmic energy that dictates how we're taking action, how we're making decisions, how we're moving forward. It's the warrior, it's the fighter within us. And wherever Mars is in the sky, whatever zodiac sign, whatever energy he's activating within us is how we're going to take action, how we're going to move forward, how we're going to make decisions. And Mars just went through Virgo, right? Mars already helped us clean house in Virgo, where the sun and Mercury are now going to be. So we've been already trying to make moves in our health. We've already been trying to make moves on decluttering. We've already been Mars taking action on wanting to improve our life, gathering information, researching, deciding things. Like we're wanting to move forward. We're wanting to perfect our life. But now we have the sun and Mercury retrograding and it's like, all right, well, how do I do that? Right? I've tried to do it, but it's not exactly what I want. Mars in Libra, however, is us now taking action in a more passive way. Right? Libra is about harmony and balance and peace, and it's the scales, and everyone needs to get their piece of the pie, and everything needs to be in way with love. And that's great. But if you feel like you're just not like powering forward as fast as you want, just acknowledge that. That's okay. Mars in Libra is wanting to see both sides, right? The scales, both sides, wanting to gather all the data and make a decision that is like in the middle. So it can be a little passive aggressive. So with fighting styles and arguments, and as Venus is finishing her retrograde, try not to be super passive aggressive because that's going to be the tendency as Mars is in Libra. But try to get very clear with Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Get very clear about your mind. Get very clear about your vision. Use that cosmic energy to just focus in on what it is that you truly desire, right? Venus and Leo, what brings me joy? What brings me pleasure? Because it's time, once Venus comes out of retrograde on September 3rd, it's time to get to work. It's time to implement the pleasure, the joy, the happiness, the fun, all the ahas, cutting out all the things that don't serve. It's time to get to work. So Mars in Libra is going to just be a little bit different of an energy. And on top of that, Libra is the area of the sky where we're going to have the eclipse coming up. So Mars is going to cut things, change things, make decisions in the Libra area of our life. And that's going to be where the eclipse is going to just lightning bolt, unexpected, get you back in alignment in that area of your life. So Libra is people pleasing. Libra is doing things for others instead of putting yourself first. So that might be a lot of Mars cutting out in decisions you have to make in order to move forward. So just wanted to bring that up real quick. That's on the 27th. Mars moves into Libra for 6 weeks. On the 28th, Uranus goes retrograde. On the 30th, the full moon in Pisces. So now I just want to move into September really quick. All right. So on the 3rd, I've already mentioned it. Venus is going to come out of retrograde. And within 12 hours, on the 4th, Jupiter is going to enter into retrograde in Taurus. Now that's a big deal because remember, Uranus is already retrograde in Taurus. Now Jupiter is going to retrograde in Taurus. And Jupiter is our planet of abundance, of luck, of blessing, of bringing things to us because we're grateful and opportunities flow. But when he goes retrograde, things dry up. You might not make as much money. You might not get as many clients. You might not get these lucky breaks. It's time to reflect. And everything that you've acquired so far this year is enough. It's enough. Jupiter retrogrades are about us realizing we have enough. We have everything inside of us. We don't need more luck. We don't need more opportunities. Like we got to work with what we got. So that is going to shift our energy so much. And like I said, at that point, we're going to have 8 other cosmic planets, retrograde energy that we're going to be feeling. So that is going to be kind of shocking and aha. Your bank account might feel low. Things aren't moving forward as fast as they once were. It's going to feel rough. And Jupiter's retrograde lasts until December 30th, until the end of the year. So the rest of the year might feel like a struggle financially. It might feel like a struggle in opportunities or experiences that were seeming to come with ease and flow. it's in Taurus. It's our physical reality. So this could be food and water and things like that. So just be careful, be cautious, understand why it's happening. And by the time we move into January, all the retrograde energy will pretty much be over, other than Uranus. His lasts all the way until January 24th next year. But we're going to start on a really high note when we get to January of 2024. So just keep that in mind. We will also have the last Venus-Jupiter square towards the end of September. That is going to be super beautiful. It's like around the 16th, 17th. And that's kind of where like Venus is going direct and our relationships are back on track and we're having joy and pleasure. And Jupiter is going to like expand that and make it bigger and be like, hey, make sure you keep this in your life. Keep it up. So that'll be a really beautiful feeling. September 6th, we have the Mercury Cazimi. I mentioned that earlier. It's a halfway point in Mercury's retrograde. I talk more about it in the Mercury video. But a Mercury Cazimi, it's the halfway point in every Mercury's retrograde, is a very important day to acknowledge and pay attention to because it's usually where we get the aha, right? Mercury's our mind and like we're trying to declutter and make decisions and reanalyze and reassess and go over contracts and gather more information and have another conversation with somebody. There's that halfway point where it's like, oh, I get it. I'm saying this, but I mean that. I was looking on Google, but I should look over here. I was trying to declutter this by colors, but maybe I need to declutter it by size, or organize it by size instead of colors. So you're going to get ahas, you're going to get epiphanies. Things are going to like feel like they're coming together that you can continue forward on till the end of the retrograde on September 15th. Once we get out of September 15th, that is when you're free and clear. Mercury's out of the way. You can make those purchases. You can sign those contracts. You can start those new projects. You can start moving forward. So that's going to feel really good. And then on September 14th, the day before Mercury comes out of retrograde, we're going to have a new moon in Virgo. This is going to be a beautiful energy. So beautiful because Mercury is now done with his retrograde. I mean, he's a day away from being done. The sun has moved through Virgo already. We've decluttered. We've tried to perfect things. Like we're just getting our life back on track. It's our physical health. We're making better choices. Our routines are getting stronger. We're committing to diet plans and fitness goals. And that new moon in Virgo is really our opportunity to like manifest it, lock it in, set that intention, new moon, new beginning. So that is going to be a really freaking amazing new moon. I can't wait to talk more about it, but just know it's coming. If you want to know in your birth chart where Virgo is, again, you're going to open up your chart. Virgo looks like an M with like a curl. I'm going to put the symbol up right here. It's very similar to the symbol of Scorpio, which is the one with the tail that looks like an arrow. Mercury is the other M, Virgo is the other M. So you're going to find that in your chart. You're going to see what number is near that. So it's going to be in a pie piece. Whatever number that is the house that Virgo rules for you. And whatever house that is the area of life. I'm going to pull up this chart here. Whatever house it's in, whatever number, that is the area of life that you're going to have this new beginning. So you're organizing here, you're decluttering here, you're making new decisions here, right? Mercury retrograde. You had Mars where you took some action here back the beginning of August. So this Virgo area of life is getting a total overhaul. For me, it's in my 11th house. If you're a Scorpio rising, it's in your 11th house. This is community. This is friendships. This is goals. This is dreams. This is my future. And I just feel that like so intensely. And I'm curious to see how this Mercury retrograde plays out. And this new moon calls in new beginnings in those areas of life. So that is pretty much it. I talked for a lot longer than I expected. I hope this really helped you understand like why all these things have been happening this summer, why you're wanting to overhaul things. Again, heavy retrograde energy. One by one, these planets are going to come out of retrograde towards middle of September, October, November. Some last all the way till December. So we're just going to kind of keep powering forward step by step, making sure that every decision is in true alignment of the life that you're trying to create, right? Be intentional, be present, make decisions that you reflect upon, right? Not impulsively, and always asking yourself that Venus retrograde question of, does this bring me joy? Does this bring me pleasure? And is it in my highest good, that self-love, that self-care? So with that, please let me know again in the comments, how's the summer treated you? Have you had to learn some lessons? Have relationships changed? Any ahas, any epiphanies? I would love, love, love to know. So drop them in the comments or send me a message. If you want to do readings, I'm back to doing readings. I've been doing a lot of mid-year readings. So for most people that do a yearly astro forecast, by the time we get to like July, August, we do an update reading. We're going into eclipse season again, so we can do that as like a quick 30-minute session. Or if you want to dive into more specifics and you have more questions, we can do the hour reading. So you can reach out or just book it in the description box below. I have all that information. I also have my retrograde workshop. If you haven't purchased it yet, I'm telling you, this is so helpful. I recorded it before I left, and I go through each planet one by one and help you find it in your chart. So as Jupiter is retrograde in Taurus, I teach you who Jupiter is, the lessons he's trying to teach you as he's in Taurus specifically, and I help you open up your chart and find Taurus in your chart and what does that mean specifically for you. So that retrograde workshop is specific to your chart. If you don't know how to find it, I posted a video here. I'll link it in the description box below on how to look up your birth chart. I also included it in the workshop, and I have a couple other bonus videos in the workshop, and I priced it super affordable. So I just want you to be able to understand all the lessons you're supposed to be learning and help you make sense of your chaos. So it's a self-paced course. Once you purchase it, you'll have unlimited access. So like I said, this retrograde energy is lasting till the end of the year. So go ahead and grab that. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be back with more content. I'm super looking forward to getting back into the swing of things and have some new energy and some new things I want to talk about specific to relationships and astrology, because as a relational astrologer, I'm just trying to help you have better relationships. And then also over on TikTok, I'll be putting out a lot more content that's like in that shorter, fun format. So thank you guys so much for being here, for tuning in. Let me know how you like the vibe of this video, just like the sit down chit chat. Also, let me know if you saw the Barbie movie. I haven't seen it yet, and that's kind of funny because I'm such a Barbie girl, but I'm going to make a whole deal of it as I celebrate my birthday. Definitely doing the Barbie theme, which I've done like so many years for my birthday. I'm just excited that this year I'm actually going to be able to find more party favors and decorations. It's been a challenge in years prior as I celebrated my Barbie birthday. So again, happy solar return to all my Virgos. And I'm just going to end this video because I'm just so excited to be back. I could talk about astrology all day. So let me know your feedback. Sending you so much love and light as we navigate the next couple weeks. And I'll catch you in the next video.